pass.
It's an option.
And the O stands for option.
Yeah.
Just call the R. Don't call the PO. That is on you, Freeze. You call your quarterback up and bitch him out. That's on you.
Yeah, take the P off, man. Just call the run.
Oklahoma, best thing you could have done, run 3 times and punt it back to Oklahoma. They suck on offense. You're playing a great defensive game. Oklahoma didn't get 300 yards of offense in that game. Why do you care if they've got the ball back? Burn clock, punt the football. There was nothing wrong with that.
I never thought Auburn was losing the game until the pick six.
I didn't either.
Even on the big play from Hawkins, and they end up cutting it to a possession. Yeah. I just never felt like Auburn was going to lose the game.
Run every play in the fourth quarter and punt. You want Oklahoma having the football, Jim. You want them having the football. Your best unit's your defense Saturday.
11.
Right. And the worst unit on the field was their offense.
11 first downs, 291 total yards for Oklahoma, and they win the game.
You want them to have the football with a true freshman quarterback.
Welcome in, Braves country. Oh.
You don't sound happy.
No, we're not happy here at the Pennant Grace.
Turn that frown upside down, partner.
Game 2 is up next.
That's sports for you. Heartbreaking loss for Atlanta as Spencer Schwellenbach pitches an absolute gem. Leaves
incredible.
the game in the 8th with the Braves having a 3-0 lead. The New York Mets come back in the 8th, take a 6-3 lead.
Yep. But then Ozzie
Albies, who had a tremendous game, and the Braves retake the lead in the 8th, 7-6, and then the Mets strike back.
Yep, quickly.
In the 9th inning and regain the lead, which they would hold on to. The New York Mets are headed to the postseason. Will they be joined by the Atlanta Braves or the Arizona Diamondbacks? And that's what we need to see. Now, I'm kind of just going on fumes at this point.
Yep.
I hate baseball, and I hate life, and I hate everything. But other than that, hanging in there, pretty good.
We're trying. How are you guys doing? I'm curious what the thoughts are on Spencer Schwellenbach being pulled. He allows 1 extra base hit. Mm-hmm. Do you think that Snitch should have kept him in?
No, I don't. And now we're, I don't think that this was a managerial failure at all. It just happened. It's just one of those things that happened. I feel like the game was managed well. And obviously the Braves were in a really good position to win the game. The big issue now that the Braves face is the Braves are starting Chris Sale here in Game 2, which is about to begin
in
momentarily.
About 45 minutes.
And which means Chris Sale, if the Braves were to win this evening, Chris Sale will not be starting in Game 1 of the wild card series, which he would have been.
Exactly.
And then you're not going to just move the rest of your rotation as far as their rest and their schedule as well. So I don't really know what they do if they get in that Game 1, because that's even possible that you bring someone up. You could do another Grant Holmes start. Yep. I really don't know.
And the Braves did say that they have guys in hotel rooms right now that are prepared to come in and pitch these games. So I'm intrigued about that option. Obviously, this is not a position that the Braves wanted to find themselves in, especially we go back to Spencer Schwellenbach's incredible 7 innings of work. And it feels very reminiscent of this entire season of the pitching staff will put on a clinic and it's wasted.
For those of you tuning in, if you're going to cry together.
Yeah.
Put our arms around each other.
We will.
Great friends of the show, Golf and Jody Gardner, in attendance in Atlanta today at Truist Park. Gary Lloyd and former guest on the Pennant Grace, Kyle Parmley, also in attendance. Gary and Kyle of the Writers Block and of Gary's, and then Kyle and Gary together doing Under the Lights, covering high school sports. Big time Braves fans. Appreciate them being there and their support. Kind of a late arriving crowd, not a full house, and it's an odd time. It's a Monday at
kids got school.
It's early, but
work.
It was loud.
It was.
And they brought great energy.
The crowd came to life, and obviously that's a good thing. I do expect bigger crowds this evening for sure.
Yeah, you had some really timely hits.
Yes, and that was great. It was great.
Yeah.
What's frustrating about a game like this is that it seems like everything was going the Braves' way.
Yeah.
it was a solid pitching performance. And then, obviously, the inevitable happened, and they responded. Awesome.
Yeah.
And you wish that the bullpen could have just closed that game out.
So Spencer Schwellenbach in what is essentially a playoff game, and he's a rookie, goes out there and performs like Spencer Schwellenbach normally does. He's aggressive. He's going after these hitters. I mean, like, doesn't seem the least bit rattled.
Full command of the strike zone.
Complete confidence in his stuff. Just pitched really, really well. He's just a guy, again, you have a lot of confidence in when you see him on the mound. You just really don't even think of him as a rookie anymore.
I think that game 2, and we're going to let you guys go here in a second, just wanted a quick check-in. We will go live after game 2, wherever we are.
Yeah.
But, now it's about how does this team respond, right? It's almost like halftime at this point, right? And I'm really curious to see. We have some friends in the studio saying, no, of course, they'll split the series. The Mets won't put their best guys out there. But if you've been following Braves baseball all season, that is not much of a comfort.
But that's also just not how baseball really works.
It's not.
That's how you think it works, and it may work that way tonight. But no one feels guaranteed. No one is going into this
like,
with just
we got
brimming with confidence.
No, and that's the tough pill to swallow, right? Is you want to believe that the Braves are going to pull this game out, get the victory, split with the Mets, and see you in postseason. But right now, I don't think that's the overwhelming feeling for most Braves fans.
I can't, regardless of how gut-wrenching it was to lose in that way, I said going into the whole thing, to be here, win or lose, extremely proud of this team. I stand by that. That doesn't diminish as far as how today went. And, we'll see what happens tonight.
I agree. I want to reiterate that the fact that we're even having this conversation about October baseball, it is improbable when you look back at the last 4 months of Braves baseball.
Yeah, and watching the games with Tyler and Ryan Brown and Reed in the office. Reed's very familiar, but Ryan and Tyler not as much. And they're like, well, who's this and who's this? And it just kind of like, well, this guy's taking, Ronald Acuna's spot. This guy is taking, Austin Riley's spot. And so it's a reminder again of all the injuries the Braves have endured. So they go again here in a little bit. Chris Sale will be on the mound. I guess knowing he's not going to be, if they were to make it, that he's not going to be starting that game 1, seeing how he does. I don't know how long they put him in there. It just depends on what the score is and things like that.
So we'll see. We are going to turn these frowns upside down. There are still some innings of baseball to be played. Hopefully we are checking in a couple of hours with good news, but we are very thankful for you guys, Braves Country, and all the fun that we have on this show. What code do they need to use to dress in style?
Code PG20. I was at church yesterday. It is a popular spot, the House of the Lord for Roebuck, and I saw a lot of it on display. You always look for that, the flag on the back of the collar there. PG20 at checkout, and it's going to save you 20% on your entire order. So load that card up, save 20%. Significant savings from our friends at Roebuck.
It's incredible. Do all of your best good vibes, prayers, all of the rally caps, weird traditions, whatever you need to do, Braves Country, to help the Braves get this win. We are in full support of. Send us if you have any superstitions. We'd love to know. But for right now, this is the Pennant, Grace. We'll see you next time, Braves Country.